Right guys, it's Dave Genv, aka Satan, the devil. That's me, the guy that runs hell for God in heaven. These videos are for my daughter now, just to keep her up to date with what's going on, and also reassure her a little bit to not be scared and all of that, because humanity is run by aliens in space, that are from another planet, that use psychic powers to control humanity, but they can't control me and my daughter, because we've got bigger brains. We're the warrior caste of humanity, whereas everyone else are the worker drones. They do worker jobs. And I've got to make more sons, so we have more warrior caste to be able to get new Earths in the future. So a lot's happened, Holly, since the last video, but it's all good news. I don't think the Great Reset's going to be that bad anymore, because humanity's been using the wrong type of pump on the oil field. What they've been using are these things. Go on Google, pump jacks. Google pump jacks. They've been using those type of pumps, and they tip back and forth. And they're crap, basically. Those pumps don't work. They've been given to us by the alien, and they're rubbish. They're rubbish at pumping out oil. We need to use a different type of pump, an oil transfer pump. Those are the pumps we need to use, like that, called oil transfer pumps. We need to use those on the pipe, at the top of the oil pipe, to pump the oil out, and that's going to mean that the Great Reset, if we do that, as soon as the Great Reset happens, have hyperinflation of oil, which then causes hyperinflation of food prices. As soon as that happens, humanity, I think, are going to work with me fairly soon after. And then I'm going to tell them, you need to use these oil transfer pumps to pump out the oil instead of those pump jacks. And then we're going to get a lot more oil out of the Middle East. And then that means oil prices are going to come down fairly quickly, and then that means that a lot of the worker drones of humanity won't starve to death. So that's good news, really good news, Holly, that the Great Reset isn't going to last as long as the aliens want it to. So the aliens want it to last a long time, so a lot of humanity starve to death, and then that clears living space for the aliens to come down and live upon. But I don't think that's going to happen now. And then the aliens do come here, because they have to come here eventually, because their planet's dying, because their star's dying. A solar system will only last so long. A star will only live so long. When they come here, they're in serious, serious trouble. And I think, like I say, we're going to be able to save a lot of humanity now with that oil transfer pump and pumps like it. Like I say, at the moment they're using these things. You'll have seen in the news, Holly, this whole Middle Eastern thing's still kicking off. It's still, all this stuff about oil going on and on. Food prices are already rising. I've just got on Google here. Google. Food prices up 50% since 2021. And then you get headlines, UK food prices set to be 50% higher compared to the mid 2021. So, the Great Reset's already happening. It's already in full flow, just as I said it would be. But I think after the World Cup, the Football World Cup, which ends in July, I think in August it's going to start getting really bad. It's going to get really bad. And eventually humanity's got to work with me. Now your mum's going to have to bring you to live with me, and then I'm going to have to go to America, and I think you're going to have to come with me to go live in America. But once oil prices come down, once we start using that oil transfer pump, those special pumps that we've not been using, that we need to start using, once that happens and oil prices come down, you'll have a choice then to either go back to the UK to live with your mum, or to have your mum come to live in America, and then I'll be a really rich man, hopefully, and I'll be able to buy her a house in America near where I live. You'll be able to see your mum and you'll be able to see me. So, your mum lives in America and I live in America and you live in America, or you go back. I have to stay in America. I can't come back to the UK. So you've got a choice. You either go back to live in the UK with your mum, or you have your mum come to live in America and you live in America and I live in America. It means leaving. If you do that, it means leaving your school friends behind. You still talk to them on FaceTime or something, but it's up to you what you do. It's your decision. Because things are going to be until God in heaven told me about this oil transfer pump. You know, I was a bit concerned that this Great Reset was going to really be bad and kill a lot of people. There's more oil at the salt flat. We can drill oil for oil at the salt flat, but the problem is that oil drilling operation would take quite a long time to set up and do and start pulling out oil. And in the meantime, people are starving to death because the oil's run out, and oil powers the whole economy, and that drives up the food prices massively. So the whole world economy collapses. But it's going to happen. But I think with those pumps, we'll be able to get the oil flowing again quite quickly. So that's a big development, and that's really good news. So that's pretty much all I've got to say, Holly. So like I say, good news, and I'll see you again in another video in 3 to 4 weeks. And yeah, until then, I'll see you.